This is DRF Race of the Day. Hi, everybody. Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRF Race of the Day for Thursday, February the 4th, race number 8 at Oaklawn Park. Let's throw up the field for a pretty good edition of an optional claiming event, 3/4 of a mile, fillies and mares. You've got some horses that have run in stakes competition, some horses that are coming off layoffs. There is some pace in the race. It's a fine handicapping test.
Yeah, it is. It's a really, really good allowance race here, Dan. As you mentioned, it feels like a lot of different horses can win here. We'll see what kind of trip some of these horses can get. I do expect there to be some pace.
You can download free Formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Access them, handicap along with us. Let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector for this race. As Mike mentioned, the pace should be fast. By that red bar, Timeform agrees. 1,000 Reasons is a fast horse. I would expect her to be up close. Headland showed good speed in her last race en route to earning a big fig. It ain't No Elmer's the 6. Those 3 horses all have speed. Sunny Dale, the 3, has some pace. This pace is going to be solid, if not outright fast.
Yeah, that's how I looked at it as well. And it feels like the other interesting thing about it is that all the horses, or most of the horses anyway, who are projected to show speed here, they're main contenders as well. So if they do hook it up, it could really set this race up for somebody.
The number 1 Ringleader would benefit if the pace is fast. Now, you could look at Ringleader and say, boy, this is a really long layoff. Tough to take her. She hasn't run since May. Now she's running against older horses for the first time. But this is a filly that won her first 3 starts like a good thing. I really liked the way she won that Dixie Belle in her 3rd start, where she kind of bobbled a bit. She was pulling in behind horses. And once she got to the outside, she made a nice move and won. Her last 3 races, she's in against She Dares the Devil and the Honeybee. That horse, of course, came back to win the Kentucky Oaks. She's in against Kamari and Frank's Rocket, 2 top sprinters over a wet track in the Purple Martin. And then she's in against Swiss Skydiver in the Fantasy. You throw those 3 races out, she's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, those are the easy races to make excuses for. Her Honeybee actually wasn't that bad the first time they stretched her out. I agree with you, though. I liked her Dixie Belle quite a bit. I thought she ran really well in there. And I also liked her first 2 starts just fine. I know that she was showing speed in those races, and that might not work out here. But she showed that she can sit a little bit in the Dixie Belle. I also like the fact that she won off of a layoff here last January. So maybe that, mitigates the fact that she's off the layoff here. She could really be in line to take a big step forward here.
Nice price on the morning line as well, 6-1. The 2 is French Empire. French Empire is in very good form. She's won 3 out of her last 4 races. She goes out for an underrated trainer. But when you look at her short comment line, it looks like she navigated a minefield in order to win. No room turn, tons best. Now, I watched the race. Yeah, she was in behind horses a little bit on the turn. She split them, and she was on her way. I didn't really see a lot of trouble for her. I actually thought she got a decent enough trip considering a fast pace.
I looked at it exactly the same way. In a lot of ways, she got a perfect trip in winning that last race, and that was on synthetic as well. Not that she hasn't shown that she can run on dirt, Dan. She did win on dirt at Churchill last September, but that was against 20 claimers. Maybe she's improved since then. I kind of want to see her do it. This is a very good field.
Sunny Dale goes out for Jerry Hollendorf. Throw out the last race on turf. She's just not a turf filly. She does have a lot of speed. Here's the problem. Let's go back to her last dirt race at Parks on September the 30th. She's 2-5 against fellow Pennsylvania breds. She has the lead with a furlong to go, and she's supposed to win this race. And the fact that she doesn't win this race, to me, I just think it's not a good sign.
I agree. This is not a good loss for this filly. Although, that was on, I guess, relatively short rest, Dan, and then she came back with only 1 more start before the layoff. So maybe she was just tailing off there. I guess the positive view on her is they ran her down here last winter, and she had a very good winter when they shipped her, and she won 3 times over this track. They're the fastest races of her life. We'll see what kind of trip she can get in here. I won't be surprised if she rebounds, but I wouldn't take any kind of a shortish price on her.
The 4 Bye Bye Jay is back at Oaklawn Park again, arguably her favorite surface. She's an Arkansas bred. She's done very good work here. She's also run well against open company. She's been managed very well by her trainer, Steve Asmussen, who brings her back off a short layoff. And we take a look at a very specific formulator fact for Bye Bye J. Past 3 years at Oaklawn, 2 to 4 month layoff, dirt sprints, optional claimers. Asmussen does well with this move. Bye Bye J last time out ran at Keeneland in a stakes race and tried to split horses turning for home. Really didn't finish with those horses. Those are better horses. Amy's Challenge is a fast horse that came back to run a good second in the American Beauty the other day with an 89 buyer. She fits with these horses on her best.
She really does. The last 3 times that we saw her, I guess maybe just in a little bit too tough in those races. Another filly who had a pretty good winter here last year, winning once and then finishing a good second in another of those races in a fast race. And I liked her race at Prairie Meadows over the summer, Dad. She showed in that race that she can sit a little bit, really game finish to get up that day.
Headland, the number 5, is another mare that really likes Oaklawn Park, but she put in a career best performance by far last time out at Remington. Let's watch that race. This is a 97 buyer. Now, I think that this buyer's speed figure, and I don't want to knock this horse because she's been good for a long time, it had a lot to do with the pace. She was able to relax early, and you're just going to see her sprint on home. I think this pace was slow. Headland benefited from the ride and the trip, and it's not going to be as easy with other pace horses in this race.
Yeah, that's going to be the real test for her. And there, you'd love to see a horse finish like she finished in that race, Dan. As you said, she was sprinting through the wire in there. So we'll see if she can back it up. It's kind of a figure that came out of nowhere, though, Dan. I mean, she's been a low to mid 80s horse for most of her career. Now she pops with a 97. They're using her speed again. We'll see if she's compromised.
I like that Brett Calhoun gave Ain't No Elmer's a little bit of a break because I believe she was sort of crying out for it. She showed some promise last year. That win at Churchill Downs, I thought, was a rock-solid effort. The Miss Preakness was a race, I guess you could argue she won the battle up front, and then she lost the war to a good trip horse, Wicked Whisper, who kind of sat a harness pocket trip, eased out, and got her late. I have to admit, I was still a little disappointed she lost that race. And then she came back at Keeneland last time out, and she was on a fast pace. It was a good field. She just didn't run, though. And to me, she was a horse crying out for a break. And with her pace, I think she's going to sit a good trip up close.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't want to be too hard on her for the last time we saw her. I agree with you. It was not a good performance, but maybe she just needed the break because, I personally don't love the Miss Preakness as a race. Wicked Whisper was a hard horse for me to get behind last year. So, getting run down by her didn't thrill me. But this filly does really feel like she has forward to go right now, and the layoff could have done her some good.
1,000 Reasons, perhaps the speed of the speed, second off the claim. They ran her on synthetic last time out, and she showed speed. And I have to admit, she probably went too fast. I'm not sure her style is exactly a synthetic style or go to the front running style. 2 back at Churchill Downs. Again, she just blitzed $50,000 claimers. She's going to go show speed here, but she's going to have to do it against better horses.
Yeah, that's the real question with her. I feel like she really was improving, and in a lot of ways, it could be a really smart claim by these connections to take her for 50. But man, she lands in a race here where it just feels like she's going to have to run hard from start to finish and then probably run the best race of her life.
You rarely get Eclipse Award-winning trainer Brad Cox at a price. You might get it here, and I would watch out for the 8 Peruvian Appeal, especially if you believe this pace is going to come apart at the end because she's got a little bit of a late kick. Last time out, she caught muddy track at Ellis Park. It preceded a lengthy layoff. Maybe something happened to her in this race. She's another horse that's run well at Oaklawn in the past. She's kind of been stuck at this level for a while, but she's going to come with a late run.
She could get the right setup in here, and that could be all it takes for her to get there at what should be a fair price, Dan. She's very consistent, but she's also never really run a race that's fast enough to beat this field. So it does sort of feel like she's in a position here where everything is going to have to break her way.
Another horse that's a little bit light from a buyer standpoint is the 9. She's All Wolf, an Oklahoma bred, coming off a third-place finish at Remington Park. Let's watch the You See It Stakes on December the 18th. First race off a 2-month layoff, but Mike, she's 3 to 5 in here, and she had her chance turning into the stretch. I think turning back works.
Yeah, cutting back, I think, could be a good thing for her. Listen, she's came into this race on a real roll for her, a very good trainer. So we'll see if he can just get her turned around here. She's another filly, though, who has to get faster to win.
I do respect Headland. I mean, she really sprinted home like a greyhound last time out as we take a look at our top picks. And I'm not against Bye Bye Jay, who's just been a consistent horse her entire career. But as we take a look at our selections, I'm going to go with the 6 Ain't No Elmers here. Again, I thought she had a little bit of potential last year. She ran well enough for me in the Miss Preakness. I was disappointed with her last race, but it was good competition. And I understand where you're going with Ringleader, especially at 6-1 on the morning line, considering that she's run well fresh, she's run well over the track, and she's faced tons tougher in her last few starts.
Yeah, all those things just added up to make her an interesting horse to me. We'll see if she actually goes off at the 6-1. I think that would be a fair price on her. But, you know, it's not like she lands in some kind of soft spot off the layup. She's going to have to be cranked.
1465 for Mike, 6524 for me. It's race number 8 at Oaklawn Park. It is your DRF Thursday race of the day, an approximate post time of 4:40 Central. Good luck.